Very good. And what country are they in? Egypt. Very good. So what river do you think this is here?
Nile.
That's the Nile River. You got to sharpen your geography. Good job. So the Lord said to Moses, "You are to say everything I command you, and your brother Aaron is to tell Pharaoh to let the Israelites go out of his country. But I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and though I multiply my signs and wonders in Egypt, he will not listen to you. Then I will lay my hand on Egypt, and with mighty acts of judgment I will bring out my people, the Israelites. And the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord when I stretch out my hand against Egypt and bring the Israelites out of it." Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord commanded them. You notice the details. Good job. So Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord commanded them. Moses was 80 years old and Aaron was 83 when they spoke to Pharaoh. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "When Pharaoh says to you, 'Perform a miracle,' then say to Aaron, 'Take your staff and throw it down before Pharaoh, and it will become a snake.'" So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and did just as the Lord commanded. Aaron threw down his staff, and guess what happened to it? It turned into a snake. So then Pharaoh summoned his wise men, enchanters, magicians, and they threw their staves down, and they also became snakes. They did the same thing through their secret arts. But you know what happened? Aaron's snake ate up the other snakes, and they were no more.
It was nothing.
And then they picked it up by the tail, and it became a staff again. But there was only one.
Wait, so is that a denser staff?
Must have been denser. Something happened. Yet Pharaoh's heart became hard, and he would not listen to them, just as the Lord had said. So then the Lord said to Moses, "Pharaoh's heart is unyielding. He refuses to let the people go. Go to Pharaoh in the morning as he goes out to the river. Take in your hand the staff that was changed into a snake, and then say to him, 'The Lord has sent me to say to you, let my people go, so that they may worship me in the wilderness. But until now you have not listened. This is what the Lord says. By this you will know that I am the Lord. With the staff that is in my hand, I will strike the water of the Nile, and it shall be changed into blood. The fish in the Nile River will die, and the river will stink, and the Egyptians will not be able to drink its water." The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron, take your staff and stretch out your hand over the waters of Egypt, over the streams and canals, and over the ponds and over the reservoirs, and they will turn to blood. Blood will be everywhere in Egypt, even in vessels of wood and stone."
Wait, so vessels like pots or vessels like seafaring vessels?
Jars. These are the beginning of the plagues. So Aaron took his staff and he touched the Nile River, and it turned to blood in the presence of Pharaoh and his officials. And all the fish in the Nile River died. Okay, grab a fish.
So the oxygen
One fish. Here's a fish.
the oxygen levels in the blood must not be very high.
Nope, those aren't fish. And the river smelled so bad that the Egyptians could not drink its water. Blood was everywhere in Egypt. But the Egyptian magicians did the same things by their secret arts. They too changed water into blood.
So where is the water from?
That's a good question.
Where did they get water from?
So Pharaoh's heart became hard, and he would not listen to Moses and Aaron, just as the Lord had said. Instead, he turned and went into his palace, and he did not even take this to heart. Then all the Egyptians had to dig along the riverbanks of the Nile River to find water in the ground.
So I wonder what that here's growing.
Yes. Alright, that is the first of the plagues of Egypt. With that, we'll dismiss you two to the basement.